What's up, guys? Ownedbytamater here. Welcome to my What Gun Wednesday, where you guys tell me the guns, the perks, the attachments, the proficiencies, really anything you can think of to specify in my creative class, and I'll throw that on and I'll use it to the best of my ability. And for this one, you guys may or may not have seen my M16 What Gun Wednesday, where I don't know, I kind of wimped out on it. I used it on free for all, and a lot of my kills were with my secondary gun, and so it wasn't a true What Gun Wednesday. It wasn't truly the M16. It was mainly FMG69 or something like that. I don't remember the name exactly, but it's the akimbo god gun that just poops on everyone's face. Anyways, this week my friend actually suggested that I use the Type95, since I was kind of ragging on it on my M16 video, saying that, even though it was said to be, the god gun of this game, I was saying that it didn't really work that well for me. And he told me just, give it a solid chance, level it up, and see what I think. Kind of test out some of the different attachments and proficiencies with it, and find one that you like. And if you're good with most guns, then you should be able to do really well with this one. And once I got used to the actual playstyle of this gun, it kind of blew me away. It kind of spoiled me, because whenever I switch back to the submachine gun that's a little bit more bouncy, it kind of throws me off, and then I get mad, and this is my go-to gun now. Whenever I'm doing low kill streaks, I'll use the UMP, but if I'm doing high kill streaks, or if I'm kind of getting destroyed a little bit, I'll switch to the Type95 and kind of sit back a little bit. The Type95 isn't as much rushing as the UMP, but if you find that you're going to run into your enemy at mid-range very often at all, then this gun blows the UMP out of the water, and it can just kind of destroy people as long as you're on spot with your shots. And I don't know, sometimes if the connection's not just perfect, then I find that I end up having to burst them like 3 times, which I don't know, I guess can be understandable if all my bursts aren't going through because of the connection. I feel like if the connection is kind of bad, then maybe 1 or 2 of my 3 shots go through instead of all 3, making it easier to get a 1 or 2 burst. And if only one of them's going through, I can kind of understand where you have to shoot them so many times just to kill them. And with a good connection, if you have at least a good 3 bar, I mean, there's 3 bars where you're on the edge of 2 to 3, where you're kind of tilting back and forth. That I'd rather just use a submachine gun or a different assault rifle, a fully auto assault rifle, because I find with the Type95 or any other 3-round burst, or the single fire, the Mk14, I believe, you have to have a really good connection to make sure that your shots go through, because if they don't, then you're at a huge disadvantage, because the enemy is going to be able to turn on you and just kind of laugh at you as you're sitting there trying to spray them with your 3-round burst and not really accomplishing your job. But anyways, this week he didn't really specify any attachments or proficiencies or perks or kill streaks or anything, so I kind of experimented for myself, and I went ahead and threw on the red dot sight, and through picking up other people's Type95s throughout my games, where I'm kind of just experimenting around, running out of ammo, just picking up a gun and trying to make sure I get kills with it, I found that I'm better with the Type95 when it's not the default red dot sight. So I went ahead and tried out the very first one that you unlock after the default, and it seemed to help me loads. And then I switched to the second one, the kind of U and then the dot in the middle, and it threw me off really bad. So I don't know if I was just having an off game, if the connection was bad, or if it really does make that much of a difference. But it seems that whenever I use that red dot sight. I do a lot better. So I decided throughout my leveling up of the gun, I was going to stick with that red dot sight. And through trying out some of the proficiencies, I could throw on attachments and put on rapid fire. But I find that whenever I put on rapid fire, I spray a little bit too much with the 3-on burst, and the situations I find myself in with the 3-on burst aren't generally I gotta shoot fast. It's generally make sure I'm on them whenever I do shoot. If not, if I start shooting and I'm not completely on them, then I find that I just do embarrassing sprays and I like follow straight behind the enemy and just waste loads of shot whether I have rapid fire on or not. So I found that the kick proficiency, since I'm going to be mid to long range quite often, is a little bit better for me. Just kind of keep my burst in one little compact area, keep them from being too spread, and it may or may not help a whole lot, but for me it seemed like it helped quite a bit. And being one of the first proficiencies you unlock, it's kind of what I stuck to the whole time. I did experiment with focus and stability and stuff like that, but I found that I kept going back to kick each and every time to kind of go to my go-to. And I found that whenever I'm using the Type95, I can use the lower kill streak to kind of just try and roll them with UAVs and Predator missiles and attack helicopters. But I found that since I slowed down my gameplay just a little bit with the Type95, it seemed like a more logical choice to go ahead and bump up my kill streak just a little bit, not to the extent of something crazy like 9, 12, 17, which is what I use when I'm going for an all-out kill core game. I went ahead and switched it from the UAV, the Predator missile, and the attack helicopter, which is 345. No, yes, 345. No, 357. God, to the 5.9.12, which is the Predator missile, the Reaper, and I believe I had Pavlo on this one, just because I think it lasts a little bit longer than the AC-130 and the ACR-130. Since the 12 was my last kill streak, I decided that being inside of an AC-130 wasn't going to help me out at all, and if I just call in a Pavlo, let it get kills while I'm running to their spawn, kind of trapping them, and working back towards my kill streak again, it'll be more efficient to just have a kill streak for my last kill streak that I can just call in and forget about. And see, this way I can go ahead and pick up another Predator missile, another Reaper, and just kind of keep it going. And through a little bit of testing and a few gameplays, this seemed like the most efficient kill streak setup if I'm going for even generally high ones. If I'm going for low ones, then of course the UAV, the Predator missile, and attack helicopter really do kind of speak for themselves, but attack helicopters don't always get the job done as well as a Reaper. Reaper, you can kind of go up and within your little bit of time in the air, you can guarantee that you're going to get 3 or 4 kills as long as someone's not constantly running with their stinger. And if you get that, then you should be able to get the Pavlo, which is going to get you kill after kill after kill, especially on a small map like Dome or a really outdoorsy map like Inner Exchange or even Hard Hat. I find that those kill streaks really just go and do work on those maps. And this team, it wasn't the greatest team. I'm not saying this was like a uber elite team and I was just like ultimately spawn trapping them with my god gun of a Type95 and my secondary god gun, which is overpowered as well. Man, I was using I was using the overpowered class, the Akimbo FMGs and the Type95. People were probably pissed at me. I didn't even realize I was using the two really overpowered sets. But anyways, once I actually gave this gun a chance, I do see why people kind of complain that it's overpowered. No, it's not going to just completely rape everything anywhere, anytime. Maybe if you have steady aim on, you can kind of rely on your hip fire sprays up close a little bit more, but if a UMP jumps around a corner up close, and you should really have no chance with the Type 95. You might get a lucky burst, but unless you have steady aim, it's not going to happen all that often. So, I mean, it like any other gun, it's situational. Mid to long range, this gun is amazing. I highly recommend it for long range maps like Bakara, even Hard Hat if you're kind of sitting at B flag looking down towards the little tunnel. Just just clean up the people. And I mean, if it's a close range map, then I can, it's not overpowered in the least unless you're getting lucky with your hip fires or kind of sitting back. Um, yeah, not a bad gun once you give it a chance. Right off the bat, don't judge it too much. If you're not that great with the iron sights, go ahead and wait until you level it up to the red dot sight, and then try out a couple of the different red dot sights, and try and find one you're really comfortable with, and just kind of mess around with the proficiencies. There's nothing set in stone, which is the the most amazing one ever that I found. I mean, there may be, but as far as I found, I mean, kind of depends on your preference. Anyways, guys, this has been What Gun Wednesday. I'm owned by Tomater. Later.